Guys, this is Benny Ricciardi with rotocurve.com, and I'm here with our DraftKings NBA top plays video for Wednesday, January 6th. Now, earlier today, we put out our top fades video, which are the guys that we don't want to play today. And this is going to be our top plays video, which are the guys who we do think you should have into your lineups. So let's call up the slideshow and talk about some of the guys that are in good spots and why we like them. The 5 guys we're going to be talking about today are LeBron James at 9,500. DeAndre Jordan at 7,800, Victor Oladipo at 5,800, Jeff Withey at 4,600, and Brandon Knight at 7,400. The first guy I want to talk about is LeBron James. Now, I know a lot of people were ready to play Russell Westbrook today because Kevin Durant was supposed to be out, but there's a good chance that Kevin Durant does play right now, which makes LeBron one of the top guys who I'm looking at here, along with Anthony Davis for my cash games. I do give LeBron a little bit of a bump up because of what we're about to talk about now, and also the fact that he's a little bit cheaper. LeBron faces a high-paced Washington team here, and he's going to draw some Otto Porter defense, and Porter has been one of the worst defenders in the league versus small forwards so far this year. Cleveland has a banged-up Kevin Love, who's still probably going to play, and Kyrie Irving, who's still coming back from that injury that he has. Neither one of them are 100%, so more of the load in this game should fall onto LeBron's shoulders. Cleveland has a 103 team total here, and like we said, LeBron has the best matchup and the easiest path to have a big upside game. I don't know if I love him for tournaments, although I do like the fact that he's cheaper than most of the other superstars. He has been putting up like 40 to 50 fantasy points lately, and I think that that would be a really nice return if we can get it from him here. I'm looking for a 50-plus point game out of LeBron today, which would even give him some upside in tournaments. So I do think that he's a safe player that we can roll out and somebody who I'm going to be looking to have on a lot of my cash game rosters and even on some of my GPP tournament rosters. Next guy I want to talk about is DeAndre Jordan at 7,800. He's another one in a high total game at 205 as a favorite versus Portland. He has 9 straight double-digit rebound games, and we're not just talking 10 rebounds a game here. We're talking games at 13, 17, 20-plus boards. So he does have that huge upside with the rebounds that he can come down with. He has 11 games in a row with at least 1 block shot, and he's averaging over 2 block shots during that stretch. So again, at 2 points per block shot, we're looking at like a free 5 points from him every game out of the block shot category. He has 5 straight games where he has double-digit scoring, which means that he's also had 5 straight double-doubles bonuses over on DraftKings. You know, a guy that can get you a double-double bonus, it's a minimum of 25 points right there. Add in the blocks, that's 30. Then if he scores or rebounds more than 10, which, again, like we said, he's been averaging 14 points, he's been averaging 13 rebounds over the stretch, you know, it's very easy to see how he gets you up into that 40 or 50-point category. The thing that is the icing on the cake here as well is it's only a 5-point spread in this game, and he faces a very weak Portland interior defense, so he does have the upside that we're looking for, and I do think that he can outperform his numbers today. Next guy we're going to talk about is Victor Oladipo at 5,800. Elfrid Payton has already been ruled out for this game, so Oladipo will get another start at the point guard spot most likely. He's been playing 33-plus minutes per game with Payton out and putting up 35-plus fantasy points in 2 of the last 3 spots that he's been in with no Payton. His points are up, his rebounds are up, his assists are up, so across the board he's outproducing the numbers that he had, and his price is down. So when you're getting a guy on the upswing whose price is on the downswing, that's exactly what we like for some really good value in daily fantasy. Next guy I want to talk about is Jeff Withey. If there's no Favors or Gobert, he's probably my favorite salary saver. It is a tough matchup against San Antonio, but he's seeing huge minutes in a very thin front court right now. He has 7 straight games where he's gone 5 times value or better, and now that his minutes are up above 30 because he's been playing so well, he has 5 straight games where his value's been 6x or better and has gotten up to the 7 and 8x range in most of those starts as well. So even though this is a tough matchup where I don't expect the 8 times value out of him, I do think he's pretty safe to get you 5 or 6 times value, which not only makes him a cash game play, but also makes him somebody you can look at in tournaments. The last guy I want to talk about is Brandon Knight, who is somebody that I'm using in a lot of my cash games today. Plays in a high total game at 205 versus the Charlotte Hornets. With Bledsoe out, he's seen 40-plus minutes often lately, especially in games that tended to be a little bit closer. His usage, his assists, his points, and his rebounds are all up now, too, since the Bledsoe injury, and he's the clear #1 option on on Phoenix on the offensive end. He put up 40 fantasy points in each of his last 2 games, and that would be a really good cash game return for a guy who's 7,400. I think he can do that and maybe even more in this matchup with Charlotte. So Brandon Knight is another guy that I'm looking at, and the fifth guy that we're going to be talking about and using today in a lot of our lineups. So that kind of sums it up for some of the top plays options that I have and some of the reasons why I'm looking at some of these guys. Again, we did a video earlier today where we talked about some of the top fades or some of the top guys that were going to be staying away. Remember, with NBA DFS, you really got to be around at that 6:30 to 7 o'clock time slot before lineup lock, because some of these guys mentioned, there's some of the other guys who were using these guys because those guys aren't going to play, could be ruled in or out, and that could open up some other value at different positions. So make sure you're vigilant. Make sure you're sitting around your computer at 6:30 to 7 before lineup lock. You're going to find one or two little nuggets of gold that come along later on that you can, use as either a salary saver or as one of the guys that you're paying up for because his usage is going to go up with another high usage guy out of the game. Those are the kind of things that you really got to look for in order to, be a successful NBA DFS player, especially in the cash games and even in the tournaments as well. If you miss out on a guy that's 35% owned, that's 3K, that's going to put up 35 points and get 35 minutes today, it's very tough to make up those points from the rest of your roster. So make sure you're vigilant. Make sure you're on top of it. Use some of these guys as a guide for you right now, and I think you'll be able to put together some good lineups and win some money. So thanks for joining us here at rotocurve.com for our DraftKings NBA video. And as always, stay classy, DFS.